Hi y'all, Claudia from the Wee Garden Homestead here. I'm going to be in the sewing room again today. No surprise there, right? I was outside working this morning. I've been trying to get out there an hour and a half every day or so, every other day. Some days it takes me a little longer. So yesterday morning I was out there for about an hour and a half, and today I was out there for about an hour and a half. And part of it is garden work, and then part of it I've just been trying to help Salty with some of the regular yard work, because he really shouldn't be out there all day long in the heat and the sunshine. But so I've been running the weed whacker, but I'm in the sewing room now. So I have a baby quilt to whip up super fast. I want to be able to deliver it hopefully the end of the week or the beginning of next week. So it's for a baby boy, and I pulled this cute one. This is what is this? Fantastic Friends by Sweet Sea Creative for Studio E. This was in my first Missouri Star box. And at the time I said I thought I was going to make a baby quilt. And this is the baby quilt I was talking about then. I procrastinated and waited till last minute. So I'm going to use that. And then while I was rummaging through those Missouri Star boxes, I pulled this out to go with it. And I think this was from that same box. It was from one of the first two. Can't remember for sure, and I'm not going back and looking in the videos. And then I thought, well, what else can I pull out to match that? I really wanted to find something red. And none of my reds matched. Oop, dropped something. None of my reds really matched, but this came, I think, in the third Missouri Star one, because this was the second one, because it's a full yard. I'm pretty sure this was the second one, because that was all like full yards. I was so tickled with that one. And it's red and gray, which goes really well here with the red and the gray. And then I thought, well, probably one more to really be able to make it work. So I pulled this brown, and this was from one of my Joann's hauls, and it was going to go, originally I bought it to go with the sunflowers, but then I wound up not using it with the sunflowers. So this brown. So let's hold those all up together so you can see them. So this is what I'm doing. These guys are all going to go together. And then I said, well, oh, that one's upside down. You get the message, though. You get the point. So then I thought, well, I need something really quick and easy. So I just came up with this little doodle real quick. So I'm going to do a 9.5 inch block of just the farm. And then I'm going to do these piece blocks. And the center is going to be 5.5. Well, it's going to be 5 once it's sewn. Oh, I need to add another 1/2 inch there, because 5.5 and 2.5 is 10. Oh, no, that might be right. I don't know. I'll have to recheck my math. But these are going to be 9.5. I've got to cut them at 9.5. So these will be 9-inch blocks, and there'll be 4 across and then 5 down. I didn't do the whole thing. So the center is going to be one color, and the outside is going to be a different one. And I'm just going to mix and match those other 3 from that aren't the farm ones. Did my math down here. So I need 10 of the blocks. So I'll do 3 centers and 3 borders out of the green, 3 centers and 3 borders out of the brown, and then the plaid will be 4 and 4, because that's a full yard. So I'm going to get in the other room and to the cutting table, and I'm going to get going on this because I'm on a time frame. Okay, and I did do a double check on my math. So if I cut this at 5.5, it's going to finish at 5. If I cut these at 2.5, it's going to finish at 2. And if I cut this at 2.5, it's going to finish at 2. So 5 and 2 and 2 is 9. These are going to finish at 9, so that's perfect. Okay, this is all cut out. I've got 10 of these. I've got 4 of each of those. So 4 sets. So I've got 4 of these, 8 of these, and 8 of these. I've got 3 sets here. So 3 of these, 6 of these, and 6 of these. And 3 sets here, 3, 6, and 6. Bam. And really, it didn't take very much fabric for these. It took a 5.5-inch strip and a 2.5-inch strip on the 3s. And this one took a 5.5-inch strip and 2.5-inch strips. And I got it all out of there. So with a couple little scraps left over. Not much, though. So I've got a lot of fabric left over that I can do some type of a pieced back. So yeah. Okay, all these blocks are put together and pressed. It took me about 30 minutes. I don't know how long the cutting took me. It couldn't have been much more than about 30 minutes. So all in, I'm about an hour into this so far. So this is what they're looking like. I'm just going to have to go lay them out on the bed with these to see how I can spread these colors out, because I don't want them too close together. But obviously, you know, I've got 8 that have the plaid. I've got 6 that have the green and 6 that have the brown. So, you know, there's only 10 blocks. So you see what I'm saying. So I'm going to go get them laid out on the bed and put some rows together. Okay, so here it is all laid out. This is what I'm going with. Yeah, I think it's spread out pretty well. All right, so this quick baby quilt top is finished. It took me about an hour and a half to put it together. It took me about a half an hour to cut the fabric. So it was just a little less than an hour and a half to put it together. So in under 2 hours, I cut this and got the top together. So now I've just got to make a sandwich and get it quilted. The width on this is 36 inches. So I have enough of this brown to just use the brown for the back. I won't have to piece it back because it's not that wide, and the brown is long enough. I don't have enough of the green to do the binding. I was hoping to do the green binding, but I don't think I have enough of it. So I will probably use the plaid for the binding, and it'll touch here and here and up there. It's just the way it goes when you're using scraps and small pieces. But overall, I'm really tickled with this. If you count the probably 20 minutes it took for me to do the math and make sure it's still on now that I bumped it. If you count the 20 minutes that it took me to make my little drawing and do the math, we're at about less than 2.5 hours so far. And I don't think that the rest of it's going to take me very long, but I'll let you know. Nice, quick, easy baby gift. I'm going to move on with this. Alrighty, this baby quilt is quilted. I just did the diagonals. You know, that's my favorite. The back is just this brown. I had plenty to do just the brown. I didn't have to piece a backing, so there's not a whole lot about that. And I did manage to get the binding out of the green. I cut it at 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2, so it's a little bit narrower than I like, but I think it'll work if I'm careful. I was able to get, I needed at least 4, and I would have been more comfortable with 5 strips. I got 4 1/2 strips out of it. The fabric was just, you know how it is when you buy it. It was cut crooked. So I got 4 1/2 strips out of it. I think that's going to be enough. I hope it's going to be enough, because the last one I did, I ran short and I had to piece another piece in. And I have one little, probably 5-inch strip that I would have, that's all I have that I would have to piece in if I run short on this one. So, wish me luck. I'll be playing, what do you call it, chicken. I'll be playing binding chicken again on this one, just like on the last one. But I think I'm going to be okay, because I have that extra half in. And I think 4 might have went around if I hadn't done the diagonal seams wherever they are. But I think that the diagonal seams are just easier to work with. That cuts down on a lot of the bulk. straight across. So I think that the extra half of a width of fabric strip, the extra 21 or 22 inches, will be enough, I hope. Cross your fingers. Yeah, I'm just going to trim this, and then we will be on our way, and I might be able to finish this up today. It'll be real close because it's already after 4. But you could, if I'd have started earlier in the day on the first day, you could easily do a quilt like this in an afternoon. I mean, seriously. Okay, this binding is on. Whew! And for inquiring minds, this is what I had left. Let's see. It's a 9-inch block, so a little over 9. Oh, probably close to 20 inches, but it would have been tight without it, without the extra piece. So, these go in the scrap bin because they're not full width of what I like. Usually I put the extra in a special bin that's just bindings, and then when I need a scrappy binding, I just pull them out and sew them together. But that one's too narrow. So I'm going to get this up on the wall and show you the whole thing. Okay, this baby quilt is finished and ready for delivery. Nice. They're about 36 by 45 finished. Got the border on, the binding on, and that narrow binding did not give me problems at all. It worked out just fine. So I called, this is for a coworker, and I called work to find out if he was working this week, when he was working this weekend. And he's off all week, so I guess I'll be delivering it next week. Now, the baby's due tomorrow, so it might be coming after the baby, but that's okay. It'll still be a great gift. So this is ready to go. I'm going to get some pictures, get outside and get a quilt drop, and we're going to call this done. Thanks so much for joining me along the way for this one. If you need any information on the size of the blocks or the strips or anything like that that I didn't give in the video, just let me know, because this was my design. I can share all I want. So be sure to like, subscribe, leave me a comment. What do you think? Thanks so much for joining me.